Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I am here today to answer some of your questions. I had asked like 4 million years ago on Instagram to send me some questions, to ask me anything, and that I would answer them. But I ended up not answering them because November and December were really busy months for me. I didn't have the bandwidth to even remember some important things, and this was one of those important things that I completely forgot. So I decided that I would do a question and answer session for 2021 and answer all of the questions that you have for me. I'd done one of these videos in 2020 and I thought why not do one for 2021 as well. So I asked you to ask me questions on 2 stories and I'll be clubbing both the responses and I will be answering those questions for you today. So without any further ado, let's get into this video and let me share with you all my answers to the questions that you had for me. So the first response to that sticker, I think this was in November, was finalized December read from Khyati, and I think we did finalize it. And then there was, why haven't you seen my message yet? I'm so sorry, I was super held up and I didn't know my brain how it was working. It was working in 10 million different ways, but I did get to you and I did we got talking. Anjali from Book XP just says nahi. The next question is a quick young adult book recommendation, please. And I would say The Fault in the Stars. I mean, that's a YA romance if you're looking for one, but otherwise you can read The Hate You Give and On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Those are books that you should definitely read if you're looking for a young adult. 2 favorite movies. There's this old Hindi movie called Dosti. That's one of my favorites ever. And my second favorite is Hera Fairy. It's one of my favorites ever. Laugh out loud, funny, hysterically funny. Baburao Ganpatrao Apte is one of my favorite characters of all time. That's all I'm gonna say. What is your qualification and are you working? I did my BTech in computer science and I worked for 5 years as a software engineer, and yes, I am working. Because I am a booktuber, bookstagrammer, author, freelance writer, editor, and I need to manage all of this, and yes, I am working. How to join your book club? Would love to take part from January 2021. We have a WhatsApp chat. The people who are interested in reading a book every month, the book club pick every month, and we have a discussion every month. Are you a student? Oh my god, that's like I'm going to take that as the hugest compliment ever. Not that students have to be young or anything, but I'm just blushing. But I'm not a student. I was a student once in my life, but now no more. I'm working. Whom do you love the most, me or Olive? Excuse me. There's no question about it. Without you, there would have been no Olive, so I love you more. Also, I want to read only classics next year. 20 big-ass classics, what do you think? No. Don't do it. We've already had this conversation. Do not. I love you, so you must love me. Fair enough. I do love you, so that's not a problem. Okay, what motivated you to start a booktube channel? Okay, the thing is, I love reading to the point where I just want to keep talking about it. Even in social situations, if someone says anything about books, I will jump onto that conversation like anything. But the thing is, I will do that only if I know that person very well. Like, I'm a huge introvert, the biggest introvert to ever introvert, and to talk about books is something that I totally absolutely love, and I love doing this. That's something that I've come to discover though. So I thought maybe it's a good idea to start a booktube channel and talk about my love for books so that people will identify with it and I can reach more book lovers and more like-minded people, and we can interact and we can chat about our love for books and all that. So that was what started all of this in the first place. Many of my friends, I think most of my friends, are not book lovers, so I don't get to talk about books with them. And right now when I film about books, it feels like I'm talking to someone about books, and that makes me really, really happy. I mean, it's been a ride, it's been a wild ride from start to now, but it's been fun. I've learned a lot. Like, were you expecting such a long answer though? How many hours do you spend reading on an average? That completely depends on the day and my mood. In a day, on an average, if you're asking me, I would say I spend about 2 to 3 hours maybe reading. But if my mood is like I want to actually read a book, I want to get into that book, I want to finish a book or something like that, then I can spend more than that. I can spend 6 to 7 to 8 hours a day reading. That's not an issue with me at all. That can also happen if the book is particularly engaging, and if it is very fast paced, then I can finish like 1 or 2 books in a day. How many pages you can read in an hour on an average? I can go up to 70. But there are also days when I read just 20 pages per hour. So maybe you could say on an average I read 30-35 pages. Like, since I am a booktuber, I review books and all that, I prefer to take my time reading a book and just immersing myself in what the author is trying to say. Your favorite time to read? Oh my god, nighttime. Hands down, nighttime is my favorite time to read because there's absolute silence. It's so calm and peaceful. The kids are not screeching from the building beside us. There's no vehicles screeching in the street. There's absolute silence. The people on top are also sleeping. And I love that. It's so calm. It's so mellowing. I can read. I can put my all into that particular book, and it's heaven. Are you an all-time bookstagrammer booktuber? Full-time, you mean? You could call it that. I don't earn anything from Booktube as such, so not yet, you could say. But I do put all my energies into Booktube. Not Bookstagram right now, but Booktube, yes. But I also do freelance editing on the side. So you could say this is also a side as of now, and that freelance editing is also there. If you were to choose one author's work only to read for your whole life, who would it be? Oh, I have answers. Matt Haig, Nikita Gill, Angie Thomas, Elizabeth Acevedo. I have answers for this. But one author, I'd probably say Matt Haig. One fictional character you would say yes to get married to right away. See, first of all, I am married, so that's not gonna happen. Second of all, Hunt Athalar. Hunt Athalar from Crescent City. Where's that? The House of Earth and Blood, the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. He is so dreamy. He's a fallen angel. He's my book boyfriend right now, and I love him. Is the book and content that matters to you, or does personal opinions of the author affect you? Okay, so you're talking about separating the art from the artist kind of thing. You know what? I try not to read books by authors who I don't have a great opinion of, but I also do think that if the author is problematic and you're okay with reading their book and the content that they are putting up, then I feel that you are indirectly supporting the author, because buying those books will mean the author is benefiting from it. See, if I like a book and that author later on turns out to be a complete soul, then I will stop talking about that book. But if the author is problematic right from the very beginning, irrespective of whether they've talked about it in the book or if they've talked about it on social media or anything of that sort, then I will try to stay away from the books as much as possible. And I actually made a full video about this. I think it was in November that I spoke about them. It's called Books I Will Never Read. If you'd like to go check that out, link here as well as in the description box below. Do you ever think about getting married and having kids? How many kids do you expect to have? I am married. I've been married for 3.5 years now, and I'm not going to talk anything about kids because that gets my BP rising. Your favorite breakfast, lunch, dinner and snack options? Haha, hold on. The thing is, I can have anything at any time. peanut butter sandwiches I can have as breakfast, as lunch, as dinner, and as snacks. Anything I can have. But I do love dosas and Mysore bondas and rice with aloo fry, rice with masala bengan and masala bhindi. I love them. And also some chutneys that my mom-in-law makes of green vegetables, green leafy vegetables, and they are amazing. My mom makes sabudana vadas for snacks. They are mind-blowing. And she also makes lobia as a side dish for chapatis, and I love it. And yeah, those are some of the dishes that I like. Basically I can have anything at any time, but snacks I also love chips and what you call murkulu. We call them murkulu here, and they are these crunchy snacks. And then banana chips. Oh god, where are you taking me? I'm going on this whole spiral. Okay, no, stop. Your favorite drink? Thumbs up. I'm a thumbs up girl. And I also like soda, like Kinley soda or Bisleri soda. I love soda. I could have a glass or a bottle of it every day. I love it. When did you last experience a reading slump? I almost experienced one in late November and December, and it took me a good book or two to recover. But that's what I do actually. What I do is, if I feel a slump coming on, I will pick a book, an easy to read book that will make me feel accomplished, and then I'm usually back in the game. So I usually select contemporary YA or romance, any one of these genres, and maybe sometimes a thriller or something to keep me going. And they usually help in pulling me back from that brink of falling into a slump. वो book सबको पढ़ने कब बोलोगे? कभी नहीं. You read books in Kindle or every time hard copy only? I read books in Kindle as well. I listen to audiobooks as well. It's not always a hard copy because it's not convenient also. And I love my Kindle because it's easy on the eyes as well. I mean, not that hard copies aren't easy on the eyes, but you get my point. I've been wanting to talk to you about starting my blog. Need some tips and inspiration. I'm always here. You can always message me and talk to me about it. Waiting for that. Your favorite fiction book and character? This is a huge rabbit hole for bookworms. You do realize that, right? There's no one favorite book. I'm sorry, but I cannot choose just one because there are so many that have so many amazing stories and characters that I just can't choose one. I did a whole favorite books of 2020 video if you want to go check that out. Where do you live? I live in Hyderabad, India as of now. Your skincare routine. You know what? I actually started taking proper care of my skin about a month or month and a half ago, but somehow it fizzled out. And all I do is wash my face now. But I have a routine that I will go back to as soon as things settle down. First, wash your face, cleanse it properly, use scrub like twice a week, and then use a toner, and then a vitamin C serum. This is for the mornings, by the way. An under eye cream, and then a spot correcting cream, and then a moisturizer, and then sunscreen if you're going out. And then during the night time, replace that vitamin C serum with a face mask. So what you have to do is cleanse your face, tone it, use a toner, and then apply a face mask. Leave it on for like 15-20 minutes and wash it off. And then after a while, what you do is do the same things like eye cream, spot correcting cream, moisturizer, and then apply a face oil. Usually you can use bio oil or jojoba oil, which you can find on Nykaa or Amazon. That really helps your skin, but I haven't used it for long enough that I can tell you how much of an effect. But the 2-3 weeks that I used it, my skin used to feel so fresh. I loved my skin during that time, but it's gone back. I will get back to it though. I hope this helps you if you are looking for something like that. How many pages you can read in 1 hour and how many books you can read in 1 month? Pages, I've already said, if the book is fast paced, I can read up to 70-80 pages. But if it's very slow moving, then I can read up to 20 pages. So on an average, just for to be on the safe side, 30-35 pages, because I really get into it. I read it like with an analytical mind in many cases. And how many books you can read in a month? It has gone up to 17, the number. I read 17 books this July, I think. But on an average, I can read like 10-12 books easily. Very easily. How old are you? That's my brother for you guys. I'm not saying how old I am. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of, but I just don't want to say. Promised Lands, a good idea or bad? A very bad idea. You and I both know it. Don't do it. Your childhood favorites. Childhood favorites, I used to read a lot of comics, and I used to read a lot of Champaks, Enid Blytons, Goosebumps. I used to read all of this and I absolutely love it. Even now I can sit down and read like Tinkle. I can just finish it in like 15-20 minutes. I used to love them so much. We'd go to a library near my house. I had actually talked about this in a video last year. I can't believe it's already last year, but I spoke about my favorite childhood bookish memory, and we used to go to this library and get Tinkle's Home, and I used to just read it in like half an hour. My mom used to be like, save it until tomorrow, why do you have to hurry? But mommy, I can't. Anjali from Book XP again asks, why so beautiful? Oh my god. Coming from another beautiful person, that's a huge compliment. Thank you. But I don't know the answer to that. Please ask my mom or something. Okay, next question is, why are you so pissed on IG stories? I'm not. I have a resting bitch face, which it looks to people like I'm really annoyed and I want to rip their necks out or something, but I'm really not. But sometimes I am, because I'm reading stupid books like Wetlands. Sometimes. But most of the times I just have, my face is only like that. You rant about a book and author argued about it with you. Has this thing happened before? See, it has not happened to the point where I've ranted about a book and an author has argued, but it has happened that the author has emailed me saying that this, and you mentioned this and this issues, and this was what I intended it to be, and so how could you do like that and all. So this was like way back. I think this was 2018. I think I was reading this particular book, which it was a paid review, and I had mentioned earlier that I am going to be honest. The money that I am taking, the compensation, is not for a 5-star review. It's for my time and effort that I'm putting into reviewing this book. But that author, he said, how can you take money and point out the negatives in the book? How can you do that? And I'm like, I mentioned earlier that this and this is it. You said okay, and only then we went forward, and I even offered to give the author his money back, because I was like, hey, it's not worth it, man. You get secondhand books or not? If yes, from where do you get secondhand books? Do suggest. So there are a lot of places that I get secondhand books from. For example, sometimes some bookstagrammers, they unhaul books, so I get some from them. And then there's a store on Instagram, Reading Delight, where I get books from there also. They're very reasonably priced. Then there's bookchore.com. The conditions of the books are very good, and they mention the condition of the book as well, which is what I like about them. And then there's a secondhand bookstore near my mom's place, which I usually go to if I want secondhand books. There's a wide variety, and I've gotten some amazing books over there. Do you ever leave a book halfway if it isn't resonating with you? If so, do you feel guilt? Oh my god, yes, I do leave books halfway through now. I used to feel guilty before, but I think in 2020 itself, I DNF'd 6 books, and that's a huge number, because before that I used to be like, oh, I've bought this book, so much money waste, or the author has put in so much effort, how can I not? I used to be that way, and then I realized that it's not worth it. It's a lot of effort. It's so much effort. How can I read more with a busy schedule? I would suggest audiobooks. Audiobooks are an amazing way of reading books. It's just like storytelling. You put on headphones, earphones, and someone is narrating the story to you. You can absorb it even if you're doing other works. But if you're not a fan of audiobooks, then I'd suggest start slow. Start reading like 10-20 pages a day. Cut out that time. Make yourself sit down and read 10-20 pages only if you want to. And then slowly increase the number of pages and you'll realize that you are making time for reading as well. Most anticipated book of 2021. Oh boy, there are a lot. Like there's an Angie Thomas book coming, there's a Nikita Gill book coming, there's a Matt Haig book coming, Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, and then there's the sequel, the second in the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. There's a lot. I'm actually doing a video for this. It will come out later this week. If you'd like to go check that out, then please stay subscribed. Is best literary fiction, a few recs maybe. I did a whole video about it in 2019, I think. See, I feel like literary fiction is a bigger umbrella under which you can say mythological fiction, historical fiction, and all of these. So I'm going to give some recs for that encompass all of these. You can read The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. That book is stunning. Circe, and then The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman, and To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, The Queen of Hearts by Kimmery Martin, City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert, any Sophie Kinsella book, and there's a bunch of books that you can read. See, I've already linked you to those fiction recommendations video, but you should also check out my favorite books of 2020 list because there's some amazing books over there. 20 books I've recommended to you, and many of them are literary fiction. When are you going to do another haul? I think that day will be coming soon. I don't know when, maybe not January, but I think February or March, one to pakka will come. The reason behind you love reading. I did a video called Why I Read, but let me tell you why I read and why I love reading. See, I've always been an introvert. I cannot talk to people. Like, I break out when I have to talk to anyone. I don't know, I get very awkward, and half the time I don't know what to talk. But reading allows me to go into a world and live the lives of the main characters and understand them better. It helps me understand people better. But that's the thing, I guess. I just love giving rein to my imagination, and those worlds are so much better. It helps me, it gives me solace, it gives me somewhere to rest my head upon and just lose myself in. It's like an escape from reality, and that's something that I will always want. I always will cherish that. What is your favorite and least favorite genre for books? My favorite genres are fantasy, contemporary, YA, romance, mystery, thriller. I mean, I feel like I've encompassed everything, but those are my favorites. My least favorite, which I've never tried actually, so I don't know how I can say that, but I'm really terrified of trying it, and my least favorite is horror. I have like 2 Stephen King books on my TBR, and I am petrified. I have not started it. I have not read them yet. Your top 3 books of all time and your favorite genre. Also love your videos. Thank you, Jyotsna. I love your videos too, and I don't think I tell you that enough, but I do love your videos. Okay, so top 3 books of all time. Jyotsna, it's difficult. I'm sorry, but it's very, very difficult. But the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, Fierce Fairy Tales, and The Midnight Library. These 3 in no particular order. They are, oh my god, amazing. If Baby Oda's name is Grogu, why is he called Baby Oda? See, basically I don't watch Mandalorian, but I've always called Baby Oda Baby Oda. That's because the internet made me do it. But I can't bring myself to call him Grogu. He'll always be Baby Yoda to me, maybe out of force of habit or because the name is pretty cute. Old habits die hard is all I'll say. Okay, the last question is, how did you and your husband meet? This is from Astha. Okay, so my husband and I were best friends for 4 years before we became a couple. And the thing is, we studied in the same college, but we never spoke to each other during those 4 years. But it was only in 2012 where we were working as software engineers at Infosys, where we met as because we had mutual friends and we started sitting for lunch together. So that happened and things happened, and yeah, here we are. So those were my answers to your questions, 2021 edition. I hope you enjoyed my answers. I don't know how it went. I just hope you enjoyed them. So what did you think of this video? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you have any more questions for me? I don't know if I can answer them in a video, but I will try to answer them in the comments below. So please leave your questions in the comments if you have any, that is. So let me know what you think of this video. Is there any particular question or any particular answer that caught your attention, or would you like to ask me any sub questions to any of these questions? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.